Greetings and salutations, this is Imperator Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
We're going to be having a look today at the Mexican generals for our Alamo project, and here they are. They're the first three figures we've got done, well, generals anyway. As with the Texan generals, we did a video on each one because they are kind of famous characters. The Mexican commanders are less famous for some reason, and so they don't really warrant a video individually, do they?
No.
It's not really fair, is it?
Because you can't really say much about it.
Yeah, it's not fair. As you already know, we've got two sets of rules for the game. One of them is black powder, which we are going to play a test with this setup. We've also got a skirmish game as well, based on our own version of rules. So each individual character is actually a sort of player character, and you use the generals to. The generals can actually fight themselves, but they also can infer skills onto the troops under their command.
Which would be better.
Yeah, it's a kind of a way of bonusing units, so you can sort of boost units to make them better and stuff. That's the basic idea behind it. It's just something we're playing with at the moment. So this chap here, they're all scratch built, these guys, from the Victrix box, and this chap here is a Mexican general. It is Francisco Duque, who was unfortunate enough to get himself shot at the Alamo, and his aide took over and commanded the regiment. He got over the parapet and someone shot him, so that's
parapet?
the parapet, the edge of the wall.
Alright.
The firing position at the edge of the wall. So the chap in question was an accomplished Mexican officer. I've depicted him with his hat in his hand as opposed to on his head, and he's smoking a cigar. I just think that looks very Sam Vimesy.
Well, no, I don't really know him, so...
You don't know Sam Vimes?
No.
Discworld?
No.
You're just uncultured, aren't you, really?
Yeah.
Terry Pratchett?
No. No.
Right, no, never mind. Anyway, he was a pretty decent leader. He led the attack on the northwest part of the wall, and his troops started to back up, and so started to fall back, so he deliberately led his troops on to the parapet and showed that it was easy to get up there. And then he got shot. Yeah, so actually it wasn't. But his men sort of took that as a...
Well, they couldn't really go back after he died right next to the wall.
He didn't die.
His troops were next to the wall.
He was wounded, he didn't die. He actually survived the battle. He ended up in charge of a province in the southern part of the Mexican Empire. Let's see, where he died eventually. So yeah, he was a pretty good officer, and for the skirmish game we've given him the ability to re-roll his troops' agility, which may seem pointless, but given that half this game is probably going to be based around climbing walls, that might be quite useful.
Yeah.
Sort of pushing his men onwards. I just thought that'd be an interesting rule. Which one should we do next? Jose or Martin? Martin, okay. Martin Perfecto de Cos, one of the more famous characters from the Alamo. He's the chap in the middle there, holding his hat high in the air, sort of waving his hat, saying, "Come on, lads!" Oh, Avante? Avante. So he's... No, actually, no, Avante is Italian.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I don't know what. No, anyway. Martin Perfecto de Cos was a Spanish officer. Do you know anything about him?
No.
No? He fought for the Spanish army and then changed sides, like a lot of generals did, and joined the rebels, helping the revolution take over Mexico, or Spanish Mexico it was called at the time, the Spanish-Mexican Empire. he was then sent to crush a rebellion in Texas. Texas was part of the Spanish Empire. When the Spanish Republic sort of took office, became a thing, and they kicked the royalists out, the Spanish armies went home and the guys left behind took over the country. And instead of being a proper republic, the guy who won declared himself emperor. Which is something something you tend to get with revolutionaries. They say, I want freedom and justice for everyone, now I'm emperor, shoot all the people I don't like. So it wasn't particularly a nice chap. And various parts of the Spanish Empire, the Spanish-Mexican Empire began to rebel. Texas being one of them. At one point he was sent to crush a rebellion. The Americans had actually begun financing a rebellion, sending money and a bit of moral support and some weapons to help the rebellion. It was called the Green Flag Rebellion. And the guys rebelling made a slight mistake when they actually declared independence from from Mexico. They stupidly declared themselves a republic and not a part of the United States. At that point, the American government, for some reason, lost interest in the fight for freedom and stopped funding them. And so all 400 of the guys rebelling were rounded up and shot. And the Americans didn't complain at all. Funny that, isn't it? When it looked like Texas wasn't going to join America, the money dried up.
Yeah.
And yet when they looked like they were going to join America, the money was there. Anyway, this chap was put in charge of the Alamo when the Texans marched in. And he defended the Alamo against the Texans and was defeated. And he had to march all the way home again with his tail between his legs looking silly.
Yeah.
So he was quite annoyed and quite bloodthirsty when it came to attacking the Alamo.
So I came back.
When he left, what do you know about this? When he left the Alamo?
That he was given a 4-pounder cannon and all his men were allowed to keep his rifles.
Yes, why?
Because it's very dangerous in Mexico in the first place, around the area.
I think that whole region was pretty dangerous, yeah. His troops were allowed to keep their weapons and march all the way home. Whereas when the Mexicans captured the Alamo back, they didn't let the few survivors march all the way home with their weapons, they executed them.
Yes.
But they did let all the civilians go.
They also let Crockett live to the last.
They executed him because he was a Mexican citizen, so he committed treason. Anyway, that's by the by. Interesting character. We've given him a special rule, which is the Alamo Avenged. That's the first Alamo, not this one. And he gives his ability. It's an ability to give his troops either one extra round of firing or one extra round of movement. I'm not sure how much useful that would be, but it was just a skill I had in my mind. Last but not least is Mariamma Ramiro. That's this chap here. He currently makes films about zombies. So, again, interesting character. Had a long history behind him. Nearly got himself killed at the Alamo. He was quite lucky, but managed to survive. He captured the East Wall. No. The West Wall. He captured the West Wall. Inspired commander. Special ability that I gave to him was he can make an untested charge. During the Battle of the Alamo, as the original assault had turned into a bit of a mess, all the troops ended up sort of gathering around the North Wall. That was never the Mexican plan. They were supposed to attack all the walls at the same time. But they ended up funneling and ended up all sort of around the North Wall, and so he pushed his troops forward and overran the West Wall defences, thereby opening a breach. He and a couple of his mates, pioneers, managed to get over the fence, and they opened the door, the postern door, the door in the... You have a door in your defence so you can get in and out.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to block it up. They opened the door and allowed all the Mexican troops in. So that was a bit of a disaster.
I'm not gonna allow that.
Yeah, so, as I said, nearly got himself killed doing it. I think there was only 3 men left inside the courtyard when he actually opened the door. And then suddenly there were thousands of Mexicans charging through, so he had friends. Brave man. But everyone at the Alamo was brave, apart from the guy who hid.
No one hid.
He hid the slave.
He wasn't a soldier.
I know he wasn't a soldier.
He's a slave.
Yeah, but he should have fought for his master.
His master was dead.
Good point. So in that case, fine, you can surrender.
Exactly, that's what he did.
Well, the great thing about being a slave is living in Mexico, it was illegal to be a slave.
It was also illegal to be a slave in England.
Yeah, it's always been illegal to be a slave. England never had slavery.
I know, that's the point. I learned about it at school. At school, they said that Britain had slaves. No.
Yeah, they're lying to you. Britain never had slaves. So, except in Roman times.
Well, yeah.
People used to queue up to be slaves back then because the money
you
was
get paid a lot. You get given nice, you get a
Free
nice
house.
warm house with water, hot running water.
Which is why Rome kept having slave rebellions every time they tried to say, no more slavery. And the slaves would rebel because suddenly they'd have to get a real job, and start paying taxes. They want to do that.
And look after the house.
Yeah, and get their own house. Social mobility in Rome was much better than social mobility here. A slave could rise to high office. The son of a slave could be emperor of Rome. So, a technical slave.
Yeah, he was.
He was a slave by law.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, they had to change the law so he could be a slave. Emperor Titus was actually born a slave and became emperor of Rome. So that shows you how you can be born the lowest of peasants and come to the highest rank of government. Whereas in modern Britain, you're born a peasant.
And you stay a peasant.
You pretty much stay a peasant, might make a bit of money, but you keep getting hit over the head with a branch every time you put your head over the parapet. Don't you just love the caste system?
Yeah.
You
can't be a king or queen unless you're a monarchy.
Oh, you have to be born into the royal family to be king or queen. So that's nice. Yeah. I was always quite annoyed when you were born that you could never be king. Annoyed me that did. I thought this small baby can't be king.
One day I might be king.
Well, yeah. Do you know how you get to be king? You lop the heads off of all the royal family and then say you're king.
Which is kind of dictatorship.
That's how they got to be king.
I know. They killed the British royal family.
Yeah.
And replaced it with the German royal family.
Yeah. Actually, I think ours are actually Dutch. Well, technically, no. Are they descended from? No, they're not. Because William did to them years. So they're German then.
Yeah.
So our royal family's German.
And our king is in Australia running a farm.
Oh, the rightful king. I mean,
So I'll say if he came back and he says that's my throne, that is.
Yeah, well, they asked him and he said no.
If he did come back, would he just take the throne like that?
Legally, it would be a constitutional crisis. However, no one would take it seriously. And besides, we didn't want it anyway because he was asked and he said no, I don't want to be king.
Yeah, why?
Why would you want to be king? No one wants to be king.
It was really boring, just sitting there. Oh God! I've got to speak to the Pope today.
Do you know what the worst job was in Imperial China?
What?
Emperor. Because you had to work every single minute of every day. There was no holidays. You could never take a break.
Yeah, because you got to keep the country running.
Yeah, you've had to sit there and have people walk in and complain about stuff. I want this doing. I want wall building. I want all these.
Guys, Skyrim.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Awful being a king. Emperor. Sorry, king. Whatever. Anyway, have we gone off topic? Have we?
Yeah.
Oh well, Mexico. So in Mexico, it was actually a place where a peasant could technically come to all the way up to the ranks. Santa Anna did.
I like Santa Anna.
Not a particularly rich family. Santa Anna was voted emperor at one point.
Yeah, you don't vote for that kind of stuff now.
No, he was voted emperor at one point. Then he was deposed, and then he and then he seized power, and then he was deposed again, and then he was elected president, and then I think he died. So he kept coming back. He was a bit like Napoleon.
It's like a cockroach.
Yeah. No, he was a nice guy. I liked him. Did lots of good stuff in Mexico.
She said he didn't die.
Well, they did things like ban slavery and stuff, so that's all like really good stuff.
That's it.
Yeah, but banning slavery was a good thing.
Yeah, what else?
Oh, well,
Well,
they didn't have enough population, and so they invited anybody who wanted to come in to buy land, so to have free land.
severe immigration then.
Yeah, so massive immigration, which led to the Texan Revolution, because all these Americans and Brits turned up and said, I want to be independent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it didn't really work out,
No,
did it?
immigration never works out. It ends up with the local population either being replaced or
Rebelling back.
break into different factions. Yeah, basically that's what typically happens. The Romans solved the problem when they moved to an area by killing everybody in the area, and then it was cheaper and easier to import people you can trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Romans were far more efficient than the Mexicans. Anyhow, that is the generals. I'll just say this chap here is Romero, one of my favouriteest characters. He was very brave. They were all very brave men, and they were all, and history seems to have overlooked them, because Bowie is really famous, and Travis is the hero of Texas.
Well, in nowadays, all you get taught is American history.
Yeah, but you never get the Mexican side, and the Mexicans.
You never get the British
really
side of things either.
You never get that at all in films, apart from the fact that British had bad teeth and were bad.
I mean, there's some Chinese things about Chinese, some stuff about Japanese. When it goes to World War II, they put the one Russian in it, and then ignores the rest of it.
Yeah, I think that the British do get a raw end of the deal when it comes to films.
It does.
The films, it's always where the British lose for some reason.
Yeah, London has fallen. The British obviously can't. The British police obviously can't deal with a terrorist threat, and the American sailors.
Well, actually, as far as London has fallen is concerned, I'd rely on the Americans to save us, because the British police genuinely can't really do much in a situation.
How can the Americans?
No, but in a situation like that, well, the Americans didn't they? They had 9/11.
Yeah, how the
They
hell did the guy, the main cast member, not get shot?
Look, and he's a hero. He gets 2 hit points.
And the president of America,
He gets
did
2
he get
hit
shot?
points as well. He did. He did get shot, didn't he?
No, he
I thought
didn't.
he was wounded.
I think. Oh, he actually. I think I
wounded.
was shrapnel. I know
Yeah.
he gets shot.
He was wounded, yeah.
With
But
the cavalry, wasn't it?
yes. But that's all besides the point. What I'm saying is that the Alamo story has some very, very brave other people in, but we don't count the Mexicans for some reason.
Yeah, the focus on 3 main characters.
Yeah, they focus on the heroes of the Alamo, who are genuine heroes, but they are also heroes on the other side. They're also brave men who are fighting for.
But the film industry is made by something called Hollywood.
Yeah, it's not made by Mexicans.
And they highlight their own history.
There are a few good Mexican films though, it's just I don't understand them because they're in Spanish.
Yeah, and Chinese films, you have to read the headlines.
I can get Chinese. I've kind of. I can watch a film.
Yeah, I've noticed
passing in
the
Chinese.
subtitles, right?
Yeah.
Massive subtitle.
And you say it's one word.
The Japanese person starts speaking. 5 seconds later, next sentence.
Yeah.
That just gets me. Because I try to read it so fast, I don't really pay attention to the movie anymore.
I think it's quite cool. Anyway, I think
Okay.
is that the end of the video?
I think that is.
Yes. So, I just think these guys actually are heroes, and I think it's a shame we don't hear more about them. Please let us know what you think. Over to you.
I will.
All right. Then.
So, if you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of these fine Mexican generals.
Yeah.
That's everything from me.
And everything from him. Goodbye.
See ya.